Hello everyone, quick little video for you this morning. Today I just want to give a huge thank you to Vlad9vt. And Vlad, spasibi. I really appreciate it, sir. You have done me a great service. As always, Vlad is very good at helping me find things. We never look for the same things, but somehow we all come to the same conclusions on a lot of things. Guys, today Vlad has shown me 3 new sites with bevel blocks. Now, I'll just go ahead and show you the timestamps from his video. Please go check out his video. Please subscribe to him. Watch all his videos. Thumbs up all his videos. He is a great guy. He has been helping out the community for a long time. He is very humble. He does not monetize. He does not advertise. He's a very earnest researcher, and I greatly appreciate him. So, 226. Teresina, Italy. Look at that bevel block wall. Pelasgian, which is the precursors to the Greeks, whoever they were, the walls of Saturnia. Now first, yeah, it's a conglomerate wall, lots of different stuff going on here. Look down here at the bottom. These are eroded old bevel blocks, but that is a bevel block. And I looked up some other pictures. Here's a good one. Not many large photos of this site, but obviously over here you can see some definite trapezoidal polygonal stone work going on, some hole anomalies going on maybe. And of course we see later repairs of inferior stonework here. These arch pieces I'm going to say are original. Maybe they were replaced, reconfigured, repositioned after this gate fell, whenever that was. But I want you all to take a close look at this bedrock element on the right. Now, I can't zoom in anymore because it gets really pixelated, but first of all, there are some processing marks in it, here, here, and maybe some others, here, here. But look really closely at the holes. I believe all of these are square holes. Some of them appear to be at a diagonal. Now, if I could find you a better picture with better quality, I will. But I'm going to say that these square holes are processing evidence, and they're going to start following us. We need to look at them, look for them in the bedrock, not just in the blocks. That might even be a nub up there. I'm really not sure about some of this stuff, guys. This looks way too geometric just to be holes. Let me see if I can find some better pictures. Well, you guys, I searched and I can only find a couple more photos. I'm not sure if I'm going to go with my previous statement that everything in the bedrock is square. Obviously, there are some square-looking areas and processed-looking areas, but there are other areas that look a little more geological and natural. Here's another good photo of close-up of the arch. I thought this was pretty interesting. There is a void here, and other little maybe spots in the stones. This little spot over here in this stone. A really nice arch, very tightly fitting. Then all this behind it is inferior. Above here is inferior. And then this piece is of equal quality to this piece. So it makes me wonder, the chronology of the site, timeline here. Were these the original locations for these pieces? Was this higher up? Perhaps this little shelf element here looks pretty old and contemporaneous, so this might have been the original configuration, but it just really baffles me that someone would take the time to carve out these beautiful blocks and then above it have horrible blocks with lots of mortar. Just does not seem right to me. So down here again in the lower bedrock on the right, maybe some of that stuff is square, maybe not, but I'm going to start looking for that stuff a lot closer, guys. There's little square hole anomalies even in the bedrock. And what does that imply? I have no idea at that point. Sample testing the quality of the rock? I got nothing. While looking for those other pictures, I did find an awesome picture of the Colosseum. Check this out. So, like I said earlier in the series, the bevel block series, I propose that these lighter stones that are full of holes, this is the original construction, and anything brick mortar is later, much later. So the original ruin is this structure. And look at all these holes again. Some of them are square. Some of them are really square. Not just kind of square, they are completely square. Over here, over here. And you could spend hours looking at this photo. I'm going to add this one to the list, I believe. I'm definitely going to save it. All these square holes up here, obviously these were done for functional reasons. The ones down here, like this one, I'm not so sure. And the one over here, I'm not so sure. And a lot of this other stuff, what is this? Is this damage? Are these attachment points for awnings and scaffoldings and statuary stuff? It's really anomalous. You step back, look at all of it. You know, how much statuary, how much decorative architectural elements could you put onto this structure? That's an interesting one right at the top. I didn't even notice that one until I zoomed out. Another one here. Some other ones here. Very strange. Very, very strange stuff. I'm going to look at this photo for a while. Okay, again, so I do want to point out one more thing. If it was statuary, if it was artistic, architectural, decorative stuff, even in here on the insides, square, these anomalous looking holes, would anything go in there? And then I believe here, up here into the arch, would anything go up into there? I really don't see these examples being something as simple as an attachment point for decorative elements. I don't see that at that point. I see anomalous erosion or damage to the stones themselves. And lastly, Vlad found me this place, Sakauri. And after a cursory look on Google, I can't seem to find this one, so maybe I have to look a little deeper to see if I can find out where this one is exactly. But this is clearly a polygonal bevel block wall. And I'm serious, guys, this is a deep rabbit hole, and we need to start asking some questions here, because while looking, I found some more pictures of the Forum in Italy. Square holes, bevel blocks, square holes, anomalous square holes, even ones that go in between blocks over here as well. And I know we see it a lot in the brickwork, and I have to assume in the brickwork it's for square timbers or other square fixtures, just traditional, ordinary things. But when I see them in these randomly, I think they look random, in these bevel blocks, I do not see a purpose. I don't see a function for them. I see an accident or a byproduct of making the blocks, processing marks. That's all I can fathom. Another portion of Teresina. Now, some of this stuff, functional maybe for a gate. How about this big missing piece? Now, this is as big as this photo gets. I'm going to try to zoom in for you guys, but let's look at all these little holes. Are these square holes? I know that's square for sure. And even some of these up here at a diagonal, maybe they follow the curve of the blocks. Are these square? Some of these, I'm going to say yes, they definitely are. All right, this is as close as I can get. But I'm going to say a lot of this stuff is square holes. That really looks square to me. That one too. Definitely this one, and this one down here. These two. This stuff looks like processing marks. It looks like something a little bit more mysterious, a little bit more complicated than just for attaching, some wooden beams for a gate, or even for metal pins to hold on more stonework for statues. It seems even more complicated than that. And the other side, again, I mean, what are these even holes, or are they just small indentations? What could go into them if they are indentations? I see some pieces here. This does look like metalwork. I'll try to zoom in. It looks like there's some staining, perhaps. So these are metal pieces that are in some of these holes, square, I assume. So maybe some of this stuff is original, maybe later. It's hard to say if I see any woodwork sticking out of these holes. It's going to be real hard for me to say that that's original. Metal stuff, perhaps some of that stuff could be original, but it could be reutilization of the site later on. But again, with all these square holes, none of this stuff could be statuary. These little random ones, none of that could be statuary. I'm going to say it couldn't be for scaffolding either. And even look at this one. It's inside the decorative cornice. Is that a mistake? Is that like an air pocket inside that it's broken away and revealed it? So could there be cube-shaped voids inside of all the blocks, like cube-shaped air bubbles? And then I notice all the processing, the lines. Try to focus on these lines in the blocks. Where are the seams of these blocks? It's really hard to tell exactly where one block ends and another one begins. How deep do these seams go? So what are the exact dimensions of all these blocks? Very, very interesting construction. This one is eerily similar to some other arches I've seen, but now that I'm looking at these square holes, I need to go back and look at all the arches again. See, I can't even go 3 pictures without finding another one. Greek-Roman ruins, Tindari, Sicily. Yep, more holes. Holes in the stones. Let's zoom in a little bit, see how good this goes. Not bad. I see square indentations. I see holes in stones. I can't say for sure if these are square, but they're anomalous. Why are they there in the first place? I really don't know. Not so prevalent in the lower structure. This could be a connected site. These stones are very well put together, and they do seem heavily eroded. They were more elaborately decorated in the past. And maybe even this is a bevel block site. If I look hard enough, I might even find bevel blocks, but I don't even think that bevel blocks are the most important criteria at these sites. I think it was just one of their executions, one of their techniques that they used. Wow, look at some of these blocks. So the polygonal stuff is a different technique. Like even here, look at that, like a wedge-shaped piece. So they used multiple techniques at sites. Sometimes they would only use one technique at a site, but other times they would use lots of different ones. Same with arches. Sometimes we'll see rounded arches, the pointed Islamic arches, but then we'll also see them together. So a lot of these architectural styles get muddied and mixed together, and it's really hard to tell them apart. And they're at Palatine Hill in Rome, the oldest of the 7 hills of Rome. So they have both styles here. The style like at Alexander the Great's tomb that has the fine worked edge and pitted recessed interior, and it has the traditional bevel block. But I could go ramble on all day long and look at Google all day long. We could go all the way around the world finding these hallmarks every place we look. But just want to say thank you again to Vlad. I really appreciate it. These are going to be 3 more sites I'll add to the list. I'm going to have to look deeper into this Scoury site, see if I can confirm that this is indeed where it says it is. You know, some of these photos, they do have the wrong labels on them sometimes, so you have to make sure, double check. But definitely a connected site wherever this is. So just thank you again to Vlad. We've got some more places coming up soon that are pretty interesting, that I've never heard of before, and you guys have probably never heard of before. How about the ruins of Tabuntus in Egypt? How about Karanis? I've never even heard of Karanis. Lots more to see, guys. A lot of places around the Fayum region, the oasis part of Egypt. So I'm going to bring you all a lot more sites here in the future. So the mystery continues, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we will talk to you next time.